Okay, I've finished grinding off all the paint and I have marked out a lid. I did this by basically pushing. I had the barrel, I didn't film it, I'm sorry, I had the barrel sitting on this bench and I used the distance from the wall to make it all square. So with a bit of luck, this is a really nice square lid. This was some sort of like transmission fluid in here, and I emptied out as much as I could, and there is a tiny bit left in there. I'm going to use an angle grinder to cut this lid. I tried setting fire to the stuff. It doesn't seem to burn very easily, but I've put in a bit of water now, just in there. There's a bit of water in the bottom, so with a bit of luck it won't catch on fire. Maybe what I'll do first is I'll put the hinges on, or at least mark where the hinges are going to go while it's still in one piece, and then hopefully it'll all line up beautifully. Yes, I'll do that. Okay, I'm guessing this does have some sort of coating on the inside. I'll mop out this and I'll degrease it. That seems like a pretty nice lid. So I'm going to have a little piece of angle iron here covering this edge. This top edge I'll just leave it as it is, but I'll clean up all the burrs and everything, make it so it isn't sharp. And then that bit of metal I had here, this stuff, it's going to run down on the inside here on both sides, and on the lid there'll be a piece on the outside, so it'll cover this join and it'll form a nice kind of solid closing point. Yeah, degreased it, and I think we're kind of lucky because I don't think there's any coating in here. I've been scraping it and I feel like this is just bare metal. I thought maybe there was a very thin coating of some like film, but it seems to just be bare metal in here. I'll make a little fire in it, see what happens. Okay, I think we're pretty good. I've just been reading about it, and oil drums like this that are used for storing kind of oil or petrol or diesel or that sort of stuff, they generally don't get coated on the inside. I guess it's more expense to do that. It seems like it's only sort of chemical stuff or food kind of stuff that gets coated on the inside. But I guess if this thing's full of oil, or I mean it was some sort of oil, that's going to stop the rusting anyway. But I'm looking for any sign of any kind of film which is burning off, and there's nothing as far as I can see. And there's no weird smell either. There's a few little drops of the red stuff left, but yeah, I guess I'll just deal with that at some point as we go. Alright, I'll let this fire burn out, and then I will start welding on all the other bits. Okay, so that's that. I will now rivet on the hinges, put the lid on, and I'll see how much I need to cut off the lid to make it meet this, because I'm going to put another piece of angle on here. I'm sorry, I'm having real camera problems today for some reason. So, I put the lid on with the hinges, and then I welded on this. It's another piece of angle iron that goes along the bottom here, which means it shuts very nicely. It kind of shuts very solidly, but the lid was a little bit flimsy. It's still, I mean, it's fine, but I would still like to try and make it a bit more solid feeling. So I welded a piece of metal just temporarily. I welded a piece here. It's just a bit of reinforcement for the hinges. So I'm kind of happy with that. I think I still want to try and, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. What I'm doing first is I'm adding bits here, and I'm slowly realizing, well, I've thought about this from the beginning, in fact, but the problem with using these oil drums is this kind of bump thing. It just means that nothing is very square. As a result, this bottom piece, it sticks out at the end. Not sure if you can see that. Sticks out a bit more down at this end. It's all just a little bit kind of flappy, and what I'm thinking is if I weld on these pieces at the ends, then maybe I can push this bit in a little bit. Trying to show you what I mean. Maybe I can just sort of push it in halfway and then weld, just fill in that little bit with a bit of welding, and then just grind it all so it looks nice, and then it all stays smooth, and then maybe the lid kind of sits nicely. I have to be very careful as well when I'm welding these on. If I weld too long, then there's a danger that I will weld all the way through and weld onto this piece that I put on earlier. So I'm just doing very little. I just basically tacked it on there. I will then open the lid and do some more proper welding. All right, I'm just going to keep on doing this and experimenting, and yeah, getting there though. Okay, like I said, not the neatest, but it has a vibe. It's a shame to paint it in a way. I think it looks really cool in this kind of battered silver, but I don't know. We could just let it rust, couldn't we? And then we could. I mean, I have some black high temperature paint, but we could just let this rust on the outside. It would look kind of cool. Don't know, let's see. Okay, I've welded in support bars for the grates or grill. What are they called? These things. I bought 3 of these yesterday, which are almost perfect, but I have to trim off a little bit off of each one. So that's the next thing I'll do. I'll trim those, and then I have these old ones which I think are just about perfect for the fire shelf, for like the shelf where all the fire, where the fire sits. And then we have a nice big air space at the bottom for a vent, so I can drill a vent at one end. Air will come along, up through the coals and out of the chimney, which I will do later as well. Right there. Okay, so this is really taking shape. I've welded on lower bars now as well. I'm reusing these old grates that I had lying around. So that's the fire level. I did quite a bit of reading about what's a kind of good sort of all-round distance between the grilling platform and the fire platform, and it seems like around 13 centimeters, which I guess is like 5 or 6 inches, something like that. I mean, at some point I could try and figure out how to make this all height adjustable, but I think for now this is going to be a pretty good all-round grilling height. So pretty happy with how this is turning out, actually. Right, the next thing to work out is a vent. Maybe that'll be down there, or maybe it makes more sense at the front. If it's at the front, it'll just go out there, whereas probably better at the furthest point away from the chimney, which is going to be there. So yeah, I'm going to explore some vent options for a bit. I might just pinch the vent off of our old barbecue, which is now going to be retired because of this one. We don't ever use that vent anyway. Or I might try and come up with some sort of funky new metal, sort of steampunk looking one. We'll see. Alright, I'll be back in a second. I've decided to go the hard way. I'm making my own. I could just pinch the one off the old barbecue, but it would just look a bit kind of crappy on this kind of Mad Max type thing. So I'm going to try and cut a circle. Ignore the bigger one, it was a bit too big. I'm going to try and cut this circle out using the angle grinder and just try and grind it so it's pretty accurately a circle. And then I'll drill with the step drill. I'll drill a couple of holes in it. Just going to make like a kind of giant version of the Weber one outside, and then I will bolt it through somehow, probably using a locking nut which I'll put on the outside. If it melts, if the plastic melts, it's fine. It'll just lock even better, I think, but I don't think it will melt. And then I thought I would weld on a bolt facing outwards, which then I can make a little wooden handle which would rotate, so you can just easily open and close this. I'm going to put it down here, just at this bottom bit, so that when because this, I don't know if I mentioned, this is going to be set into a concrete worktop outside, so you will be able to just put your hand under the worktop and just adjust it down here. I think that would be quite nice. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Alright, it's on. I drilled some holes. I welded on this little this bolt. I made this little wooden handle. It's all super rough, but I think it's got character. So yeah, now there's just a little vent down here, which seems to work well. All right, so now I have this massive pipe. I'm going to make a little chimney, and I think we're there. I've got to put the thermometer on as well, but yeah, that's it. Okay, I've just lit a fire in it. I think it's pretty good. I wonder if maybe the air intake is blocked. This, by the way, is just a temporary situation. This eventually is going to be set into a concrete countertop over here. That's probably next week's job. I'm going to build the base for the pizza oven and concrete worktops going all the way around here, and this barrel will sit inside the worktop. It's going to be cool. So there we go. Yeah, I didn't put in the thermometer yet. I actually think what I'll do next week is I'll maybe Oertrol this. It's some oil. It's this kind of special metal oil that you can put on. It makes it go very dark, almost black, but sort of anthracite kind of colour, and it looks really cool. So I will Oertrol this. It'll protect it. It's already going a bit rusty. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll do something. I'll put the thermometer on, and then I can start building the worktops to go here, which will eventually become the outdoor kitchen. So yeah, maybe by the end of next week I will have the bones of the outdoor kitchen, and then it's the pizza oven, which is actually the scariest bit of all. Okay, thanks very much for watching to the end. Lots of love to you all. Please come over and see us this summer. It's going to be really cool. We've got loads of concerts. Every Friday we're making pizzas. I'm making pizzas. Elsa's running the bar. Vincent's helping. It's a family affair. All right, lots of love. See you soon. Please subscribe, and yeah, take it easy. All right, goodbye.